Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the political intrigues that will take place in the government of the U.S. And so I received this word on November 29, and I will simply call this word a coup in America. There will be a coup in the United States, an illegal transfer of power, an insurrection from within. And after that, Joe Biden will be out of the government and Kamala Harris will be in charge. So this prophecy is not new in that it is reflected in multiple prophecies on the blog concerning the pairing of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I think there is the brick breaker game. There is a broken rule of law. Please note these prophecies so that you can go and look at them for yourself. It's always good to read. As you read, you will absorb. As you absorb, you will understand. As you understand, you will be moved to pray. Brick breaker game. In that prophecy, I saw Kamala Harris standing up as huge as Godzilla. The Lord was showing her, I guess, here in New York City, or it might be in Washington, D.C. I can't know that. All I know is that I saw a skyline and I saw this woman as huge as Godzilla, and she had a mallet, which is a very big hammer with blunt ends made of wood. She had a mallet in her hands and she was swinging indiscriminately between the buildings, and she smashed up all the buildings of this country. She smashed them up. It looked just like Super Mario Brothers or a video game. Every time she connected with the building exploded like toy bricks and fell down. And she was laughing and laughing as she did this. And then there is the prophecy, a cockatrice will pursue them. And in that prophecy, I think the Lord said that America will be taken by surprise. She will suffer an internal coup. So what we know of coups is we're used to seeing people in balaclavas and holding automatic weapons, running up on the place where the president lives and taking control of his home and taking control of the radio stations and taking control of the main transport lines and taking control of, the TV stations, and then coming out and saying, this is your new government. There's a coup. The president is dead. We killed him, and this and that. And that is how stylized coups happen. But here in America, especially because this is 21st century, and this is one of the most modern nations in the world, we have to understand that the people who are behind this would not be so uncouth as to run up in public with guns and start saying, we're taking over the Capitol. No, this coup has been prepared for more than 50 years, more than 60 years. In redacted information revealed, there is a particular president who lost his life for daring to speak out against the architects of this coup. The NW, you know what? We'll call it the NOW, and you simply move that around for understanding. He spoke out against them, and he was quickly taken care of. The Lord actually revealed the two people who were involved in his death. If you read the prophecy redacted information revealed, you will find out the host of things that happen here in the United States while people go to work and while people pick up their children from school. And so Kamala Harris will be president of this country without any form of election going on. Joe Biden will be removed. At first, when the Lord gave me this prophecy in 2020, he simply said that Mr. Biden would succumb to illness, or that they would use illness as the vehicle by which to remove him. And so this is what I wrote, because that was the revelation that the Lord gave me at that time. But as time began to go on, God bringing me ever deeper into his counsel, I began to get this horrible feeling of death around this man. There are times prophetically when you feel something, you don't know the person, you're not near to the person. It happens to me a lot, that I feel things about people that I have not met, sometimes simply by reading their emails, sometimes by looking at their picture. I perceive things about them that I cannot know. And this is simply the word of knowledge, or the word of, it's the word of knowledge that the Lord gives, where you can know things. And I began to have this horrible feeling concerning this man about death, which I did not have before. And it was hovering, but the Lord didn't say anything about it. However, today it was very clear. And in fact, it's already written on the blog before. So I will read what the Lord gave yesterday, and then I will add in what I received today. The coup in the United States. The Lord says that we can expect to see rising prices. I just mentioned this. Food will literally, especially the good stuff, the stuff that makes us all feel good, meat, yogurt, and all the fancies, those things will become so steep and so pricey that you will begin to experience what economics calls sticker shock, which is you go to the store this month, you buy what you need for the month, and you take it home, and you go the second month, and you perhaps notice a discrepancy of $5 or $10. So you add that $5 or $10 on, and you buy, and you don't murmur about it too much because you're thinking, well, But then when you go the third month, basically, it's as if the money that got you food in the first month is now cut by 40 or 50%, and you're wondering what's going on here. You start to think that the supermarket are thieves, but actually the supermarket are simply reflecting the pain that they're facing when they try to secure goods. And so they're not going to pass on, they're not going to hold that extra cost for themselves. They're definitely going to pass it on to you, the consumer. And they can do this because they know that if you want to eat, you'll buy these things. They can also do that because they know that if you don't buy them, somebody else will. The Lord says that when this woman takes charge, there will be blatant disrespect for civil and constitutional rights. So there is a prophecy concerning Kamala Harris in power. And in that prophecy, I saw her with a very huge felt marker. And she was scribbling over the Constitution. And a strange thing was happening. As she was scribbling over the Constitution, the fine and the feathery writing of the Constitution was disappearing. And all that was there is these large blocky scrawls that she was making as she made executive order after executive order. The Lord revealed at least a year ago that America, you can basically give up on thinking that you're going to be governed by the laws that have kept this country more or less on an even keel for the last 400 years. You can literally forget about it. If you are someone who holds the view out there, whatever side of the political aisle you're on, I literally am not interested, because this is a spiritual channel and I'm speaking from a spiritual standpoint. If you hold the views that civil liberties and constitutional rights are something that are highly prized by the people who have ruled this country for centuries, you would be wrong. The people who cared about running this nation according to the laws that are on the books are all dead. They are dead. Their work, their efforts, their legacy have already been erased and co-opted by people who will rule by decree. A decree is a word that comes out of a king's mouth and nobody dares to counter it. A decree is a very rock hard and solid set of instructions that you have to follow or else. So if you do not follow decrees, there's no, I'm going to court, I'm suing, I'm quitting. There will be consequences for not following decrees.